Good morning, it's Mike Mahoney with Remax Executive Realty, and today what I'd like to review with you is the fact that either way, you're paying a mortgage. Essentially, I have this conversation a lot with folks that are currently renting in Greater Boston, and I tell them this all the time, that either they're paying their mortgage or they're paying their landlord's mortgage. Great article came out yesterday by Steve Harney and the Keeping Current Matters crew. Their website is keepingcurrentmatters.com. Steve's a bit of an expert on the residential real estate market. He does a lot of speaking engagements for Remax, both nationally and I believe internationally. So I've actually met Steve. Great blog post on renting. So people say they have not purchased a home because they're uncomfortable with taking on the obligation of a mortgage. Whether or not you're comfortable, it doesn't matter. You're paying rent, and that's an obligation. And should you decide not to pay your rent, well, I'm not sure your landlord's going to give you the get out of jail free card like they hand out in Monopoly. So basically, I tell people all the time, if you're paying $1,400, $1,500 a month, or you're a couple that lives separately but thinking to cohabitate together, you should definitely look at housing. Here's what the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University says. Households must consume housing, whether they own or rent. Not even accounting for more favorable tax treatment of owning, homeowners pay debt service to pay down their own principal, while households that rent pay down the principal of a landlord, plus a rate of return. That's yet another reason for owning, often does, as Americans Intuit, end up making more financial sense than renting. Not only that, but you have more control. There's all that intangible stuff. You don't have to move. You're not at the mercy of the landlord. So let me show you just rents in Greater Boston, and then I'm going to show you a scenario where you could actually probably come out the same. So bear with me. Okay, essentially what I have on the screen right now are rentals in Boston. So I've chosen citywide. Now, I do realize some folks might live in Quincy, Cambridge, Somerville, Watertown, and surrounding areas. But let's just look at Boston to get a synopsis. I said, show me everything that's available up to $1,500 a month for rentals right now. There are 32. As you can see, we'll scroll through. So, a lot of them are one bedrooms. We're starting to get into the two bedrooms. Here's one in East Boston, a two bedroom. That's $1,400. Dorchester, two bedroom. But essentially, the average rental price is $1,343 on those 32 rental listings in Boston under $1,500. Which is going to require first, last security deposit. So now you've got, a considerable amount of change being put up. Let me show you what a mortgage would look like in reference to your rental payment of $1,500. Okay, so essentially what I've done now is conducted a search of Boston-wide. Now, do realize again, you can look in Dedham, Quincy, Watertown, outlying areas, just like you could for a rental. But I just wanted to keep it apples to apples. So this is Boston. And I said, show me up to $225. And there's a reason I chose $225, and it's because when it's mortgaged out, it will come out almost to the same as a rental payment. So just rolling through the list, there were 34 properties under $225. And I did happen to pick one, and I know the building. It's over in Dorchester and Adams Village area. So here is 46 Adams Street. This property here is listed for $225. It has a monthly condo fee of $396, but that's your heat, hot water, water sewer, master insurance, security, laundry facilities, elevator, exterior maintenance. Now, let's click on this mortgage analysis on this. Let's say it's listed for $225. Let's say you get it for $219. You put down 3.5%. Mortgage rates right now are like 3.75 with a 30-year fixed. So 3.5, you're only having to put down $7,000, $8,000. If you go to do a rental for a $1,500 a month rental, you're going to have to put up first, last, and security. You're almost there with a down payment. Condo fees included here and your yearly property taxes. So when I calculate that out, 1474.73. So essentially, for the same price that you're going to pay in Boston for a rental, you can own a property with 2 beds and parking with almost the same amount of money down that you would have to use to secure a rental for yourself. If I can help you out, please reach out to me, Mike Mahoney, Remax Executive Realty, 617-980-9025. Thanks. Bye-bye.